All right, welcome listeners. Today on The Mend, I'd like to introduce you Rebecca Bourke, who is a community service advisor for Hearing Australia, if some of you have heard about it. Beck's been attending Chelsea Arcade Medical for almost about a year now.
Yeah.
Doing free hearing checks for the local community, and you do also attend some other local sites in the bayside as well.
Correct.
Is that right? So you mainly kind of manage this part of Victoria?
Yeah, and like right up to Sorrento. Yeah, so Peninsula.
That's good.
Even Hastings out that way too.
Mornington
and Rosebud. So.
Yeah, okay. So you got a little bit of driving to do.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. That's okay. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Beck?
So I've been working with Hearing Australia for almost 10 years now. So been with the company for a while. I have 2 children, an amazing husband. I like to work out.
Can see that.
Go for walks, runs. That's sort of, and I like to just live a balanced life.
Healthy lifestyle, yeah.
Absolutely.
You look like you do a good job of that. You must have been doing it for a while now.
Yes. Yeah.
That's good. Well, today we're actually here to talk a little bit about hearing loss and Hearing Australia, and kind of what kind of services you provide and how you give back to the community in your way. So for people who've never thought about their hearing, why are hearing checks important?
Hearing checks are important because hearing loss happens gradually. People don't realise they're starting to miss something until they're turning the TV up louder, or they're in social situations where they're asking people to repeat themselves, or like if I see people, they will say, but my sister, she just mumbles, or my husband mumbles, or vice versa. So it's really important to get your hearing checked.
Because generally it's someone else that tells you, right?
Correct.
It's never you noticing it. Like it's someone else telling you, hey, the TV is a bit too loud, or hey, turn your music down, or something. And sometimes that can be a bit confronting when someone else is telling you.
Yeah, and people sort of ignore it for quite a while until a family member's like really frustrated and they can't even talk on the phone because they're like, you're not hearing me. Go get your hearing checked. And then that's where I'll have people booking in and coming in. Yeah, coming in.
Number one culprit, my dad. I've been trying to get him to come and see you now for about a year, but he's so much in denial. Partly there's a selective hearing aspect of it. So there's part of it that he doesn't want to listen to, right? Of course. But there really is something there that's minute, which I've even spoken to my mum about. Try convince him to come and just get a check. It's 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
It's 10 minutes. It's just that little bit of time out of your day.
Yeah.
And early detection's always better.
So I guess, touching on that, what are some of the early signs of hearing loss that people might overlook? Can younger people also experience hearing loss, or is it just mainly older people?
No, it's anyone really. We're sort of noticing a bit of a trend with younger people coming in because people are wearing earpods, headphones a lot more now. And can be listening to things quite loud. And over time, your hearing does start to deteriorate.
Yeah, so. And do those like noise cancelling headphones and things, do they play a part in this as well, or do you feel like?
Well, I mean, it really honestly depends on how loud you're listening to something. Okay. So with noise cancellation headphones, that's just blocking out outside sounds. But if you're like locked in with something on and you've got it up at a certain decibel, and people like to listen to things loud.
Yeah, so. Especially in places like the gym, going for runs.
Correct.
And that's becoming a more common thing, or common activities that people are doing these days. And of course, there can be adverse effects of small things like this in your
over
day-to-day
time,
life.
Definitely. Yeah, so it's not just older people, it's younger people as well.
Yeah, absolutely. From a different point, from just damage actually happening rather than it just happening over the course of your life.
Yes.
Now it's brought on much earlier because of all these technologies and stuff coming into place.
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting.
Yes.
So I guess, during a hearing check, what actually happens? Is it quick, or is it?
It's so quick. So with a hearing check, a person will come in, I'll introduce myself, ask them if they have any concerns with their hearing, talk a little bit about that. And then it's literally, we pop the headphones on. It's different frequencies coming through the headphones. You just press a button every time you hear a sound, and that's it. So it's, quite easy, simple, non-invasive.
Yep.
And then we talk about the results, and if there's hearing loss found, then I refer them on to a hearing specialist. So
because hearing loss can be different things. Like you said, there's when you hear a particular sound, you'd hit the button, but I'm guessing these are sounds at different frequencies.
Correct, yeah.
And so hearing losses doesn't necessarily mean you just can't hear the music, but there might be different frequencies of hearing that you're missing out.
Yes,
and that in itself is part of hearing loss. It doesn't mean you've lost your hearing, but...
No, and that's right, and that's why sort of going a little bit further into it, when you see the audiologist, they can do speech testing and sort of see what you're missing out on in conversation.
Right.
So it's a bit more in depth when you go see the audiologist.
Okay, but that's a little bit different to what you do. That's a more in-depth
Yes,
test.
it is. Yeah. What I do is really quick and simple, but it gives us a baseline of where your hearing's at. So
let's just say, there is a slight hearing loss identified in a patient, and then you refer them on to Hearing Australia to do further testing.
Yeah.
What kind of support does Hearing Australia provide for patients?
So Hearing Australia, it's an end-to-end support. So from me checking or my colleagues checking, and then it's ongoing care and tailored to that person's hearing needs. So, they come in, have that more in-depth test, which is also non-invasive. Like, nothing hurts, there's no needles, nothing like that.
Yeah, good.
It's just the audiologist will look in your ear to see if there's any wax in there that could be affecting your hearing loss.
Could be something as simple as that.
It could be, yes. And I also look in ears, so...
you can do that check.
I can do that check as well.
Yeah, okay.
And then it goes on to, if there's hearing loss found, then that discussion, and then it's all based on, like, sort of your lifestyle as well. So it's not like a one-size-fits-all. Yeah.
So does it vary from providing, like, hearing aids?
Yep.
Do you teach sign language and things like that as well? Or is that
we don't teach sign language, like that's something, but we do have clients that do come in that are profoundly deaf and then do use Auslan as their way to communicate. I personally don't know Auslan, but they just will write something down. So
so that's pretty much it caters for kind of everyone in every
absolutely
different aspects of hearing loss.
Yeah.
So I guess just in like a closing topic, what are kind of 3 simple things that people can do to protect their hearing, just from an everyday standpoint?
So obviously turning down volumes, protecting your ears in noisy environments. So I always say, if you're mowing the lawns or using the hedge trimmer, you can pop some earbuds in, or just ear protection, go to Bunnings, grab something. And then getting your hearing checked regularly is really important. So don't leave it. People often aren't aware that you're more at risk of developing dementia if you leave your hearing. So, and you don't want to be also isolating yourself from the community because you're unable to hear and things like that. So it's and really important.
You touched on just mowing the lawn and things like that. Those are duties, but people that work in construction, people that work near public transport and all these kinds of things, it impacts everyone, right? Like
impacts everyone. So
warehousing.
Yeah, like if you're on union sites and things like that, you have to wear the protection, so it's really good. And more people are doing the right thing and protecting their hearing that way. But when you're young, you're invincible, right? So people, they're not affected until they're affected.
Yeah, till it's past that point. So is it something that can be preventable?
Oh, absolutely. You can prevent hearing loss. But you want to start young.
Start early.
Yeah, start it early.
Of course. Well, with that, thank you, Beck, for your insight today. It was really valuable.
Thanks for having me.
It was good to understand, what kind of things, well, firstly, the services provided by Hearing Australia, but also the small process that's involved and how easy it actually is to go through it. It's not something that you have to go out of your way to seek out. You're here once a month.
I'm here once a month.
And around other
around
areas.
The peninsula. You can book online. You can see where I'm at, where my colleagues are at. And you just pop into that place and it's 10 to 15 minutes of your time.
Of course. And, thank you. And thank you, listeners, for joining us today. And with that, I'd like to hope you all stay well and keep on the mend.